very happy good morning here on Wolf of Dubai, and we want to start the day with a little bit of explanation what happened yesterday to Virgin Galactic. If you are following this channel, then you know that yesterday we had a quite significant drop of Virgin Galactic, and there's a couple of things to understand here. We will go into the stock, we will go into the share structure, and we will talk about why this pressure happened yesterday on the stock. So first of all, you need to understand that in general, this kind of growth stocks can be very volatile. So they can be the one day 5% up, the other day 10% minus, then the other day 5% up again. So this is totally normal. This you can see at Beyond Meat, at Tesla, and other growth stocks. You can see this kind of jumps because those are, first of all, the volumes are not that big that are traded, and secondly, small news can react in one or the other way, or bigger news can also react even bigger on the stock while you are invested. So make sure to understand this and don't get too much scared out of the stock. It doesn't matter if any stock that you invested in because of recent drops or whatsoever, depending on the vision of the company, if it doesn't fundamentally change. So what happened yesterday? Yesterday the stock went down almost 10% to $15.82. As you might remember, I bought a couple of more shares, about $5,600 or something like that, because I believe that those dips are quite interesting to purchase and increase my position. As you know, I started to build up a position right here, so I'm using these dips to further go and increase that position, because I strongly believe in the management, in the product, in the structure, in the numbers, in the overall situation of Space company. The space ticker SPCE is always misguiding me, okay, with the name. So Virgin Galactic is, in my personal opinion, a very interesting stock. And this gentleman here, founder and Sir Richard Branson, it was announced yesterday that actually he is selling some of his stock. And that's actually not a, let's say, brand new news, because it was in the news a couple of times already, but it seems that it was re-established in just now that he's selling more shares because he has other businesses to, let's say, take care about. As you might know, he is actually having a huge group called Virgin, and this group is actually heavily invested into the travel industry and hotel industry, leisure industry, and therefore you can see that this is obviously quite heavily affected, and he needs to have those funds that he has out of selling Virgin Galactic stock. And we will look into now how the overall structure is and what does it mean for the stock, because I think this is important to understand. So first of all, let's see, 12 million shares. Is it much? Is it a lot of volume? So let's have a look first. So here is the overall overview at Yahoo Finance of Virgin Galactic. And the nice thing about this area here, it's here you can see the average volume and the volume yesterday. So yesterday this stock was quite heavily traded on the news, obviously. I don't know if there is already a bit or a lot of the stock sold by Richard Branson. Usually, this doesn't happen overnight, but can take a couple of days. So definitely to watch out the volume here. So if the volume is increased, maybe this seems that the sales of the stock is actually using it's actually showing us that the sales is going on. And here's the average volume, which is just 14 million shares. So you can see that the volume yesterday was quite up, and it could be that this 12 million shares of Richard Branson are going to sales now. Now let's have a look into the overall picture of the shareholders. Here you can see the nice put together of the overall partners and shareholders of Virgin Galactic, and as you can see here, the biggest shareholder with 89 or 90 million shares is Sir Richard Branson with his holding company. And actually, if you deduct the 12 million shares, you can see that, you know, it's not a big deal for him, because he will own still 77 million shares, much bigger than any other shareholder right here on this area. So there's much more shareholders. There's, for example, also, we talked about it in several live streams, but for example, there's also the Renaissance Fund, which is one of the most successful funds buying into that. You have here also the Vanguard Group, which is also quite known. So I think that the structure is really not affected at all by Richard Branson selling 12 million shares. And this is what you have to filter. You know, there's a lot of noise, obviously, into the overall area of stock investing, and once you don't know the details, it might sound crazy, and for those people who are not informed or not looking into the stocks and everything, this sounds quite dangerous or negative. If you see Richard Branson selling stocks to rescue his other business, you know, but that's you know, if you are an entrepreneur or ever have been or known how business works, then you try to save your babies at any price. And obviously, if he has so much of Virgin Galactic, it doesn't hurt to sell a little bit to look after some businesses that are now heavily affected. Now, this is the overall stock chart of Virgin Galactic as well. Here's something I wanted to show you as well. Some two lines that you can see here: the overall 50 moving average, which is the green line here, and also the pink line, which is the 200 moving average. So this is the moving average of the stock, and as you can see here, once it's approximately now since a couple of months that it's along this 50 moving average line, and as soon as it touched or went under the 200 moving line, then the stock actually gained momentum here. So, you know, I think that these two levels are pretty strong, that I don't think that the stock will go under those levels. If they will go under those levels, then there's definitely a little bit of space to go even lower. But even, you know, look at this. This was the lowest point since a couple of months now, which the whole market was totally brought down, and the stock just went to $10, guys, you know. So I wish it can go down there, because I would love to load much more stocks for $10 or even less. But I don't think this is high probability. However, you know, if it's short term going under these levels, then obviously this would be also, especially here, a bullish sign also that it can go up afterwards. So around $14 you can also have a good luck to gain a good amount of stocks, and then it's short term it will go up. But you know, I'm in for the long term. I don't know about you guys, but this company has much of potential. I also want to have a look what Virgin Galactic is today doing pre-market. I just saw when I woke up that the stock is a little bit up today. Those are the after hours valuation, but there's no news yet of the pre-market. The pre-market in general looks quite friendly, guys. If we are looking into the indexes, then you can see that the futures are pointing again higher. The liquidity in the market is just heavily affecting this. And obviously, I don't know if you already joining us, but we have the Wolf of Dubai membership. Just press the join button below all my videos or live streams, and then you will be having all the informations. What does it require to become a member, and then you have access to the Discord chat with all our members, which is quite interesting, where we share, you know, all this information as well. Sometimes much faster than here I can make the content, but however, you know, thank you very much for watching, and I see you obviously later on with a daily vlog and a daily live stream. Thank you very much, and have a nice day or night, depending where you are watching from.